Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another car ride catch up with me. I'm just driving home. Nice gloomy day. Clearly, it's been raining off and on. I looked outside at one point and it was pretty dark out. But hopefully, it won't be too bad of a ride. A little bit of traffic right now. But just for the most part, it's been a pretty good day. I hope everyone out there has had a good day. If you see this. No major rants from my end today, just a little update. I know everyone's probably been watching some of the news and stuff. I'm not a big one to really talk about politics. I have my opinions, I have my view, but I will say some of the things on the news are like, it's like, what the heck are people thinking? Doesn't matter which side of it you're on. Violently protesting or rioting, whatever you want to call them, it's definitely not acceptable at any level, and it's unexcusable. So regardless of which side's doing it, for what purpose, what their cause is, if you want to protest. That's what this country was founded on. It is an absolute great country, and one of the great things about it is that you have the right to speak up, the right to protest and talk about talk against your government and say that you don't agree with how things are being done. But it doesn't give you the right to loot and riot and torch cars and get violent over it. Violence in these situations does nothing but hurt the cause that you're trying to support. It makes it look like your cause is supporting in like the actions. And regardless of how passionate you are about something, it's unacceptable. I'm not even going to get into what I feel for the actions being done about resolving it, because it's crossed my view of it is it's crossed the line to the violent actions, and the violent actors need to be taken care of in a way that is legal, where the legal authority that police and the National Guard and whoever has the authority to go in with riot patrols to settle these situations down. It would be nice if it would be done without any of that interaction, and it could just be a matter of everyone being peaceful and happy, but clearly that's not the case. So that's just my little thoughts on that. Other than that, it's I try not to watch the news. That's just one that keeps popping up on my news feeds, on the radio, on the news, on the TV, it doesn't matter. It's like front and center everywhere. And the thing that really kind of irritates me, other than people doing things they shouldn't be doing, is the way it's being covered. Like, I try to view news sources that cover all different sides and all different views of situations. I think for the most part, most media sources have some view, some sway one way or the other, and the way they report on things clearly is impacted, and I'm not going to say skewed, but definitely targeted for their audience and the people that fit what they're trying to make the narrative. Because you have these certain news stations that are talking about the what's going on in Los Angeles as peaceful, and it's the same media that were calling a lot of the riots during 2020 peaceful, when there's more evidence out there supporting the fact that they weren't than the peaceful parts. And yes, the majority of people who do go to these and go to the actual protest portions are peaceful, but it doesn't mean these are peaceful protests when it seems like every day they're erupting into violence and chaos and other things. So it really does kind of annoy me that certain stations, and every station does it to a little bit, every media source it does it to a little to some extent for the most part, where they're incapable either by choice or by design of being impartial. Some of the and I'm saying this on both ways, you have the ones from the left and the right, and they skew it differently, and for the most part they're not capable of being impartial. They put on an act to try to show it by bringing people from the other side in, but the people they're bringing in from the other side are kind of token examples, just saying, hey, we did this. So that's just kind of my view of it. There are some good online sources, but I will tell you, when you look at the smaller sources, the online sources, make sure that they're posting where they're getting their information, because that's a big thing. One thing I remember learning in school is when you're putting together projects, when you're putting together material, and when you're looking at sources, you actually have to not just find a source, because you can go online, especially now with the internet. It's a lot easier to just go online and say, oh, first source I found, I'm going to use that for first link. But how do you know it's accurate? What do you do to validate it? Is it a reputable source? Is it from a known location? So like a known source that's has a reputation of being impartial or being accurate. Is it coming from a source that maybe is known to be more opinion based, or is it truly, or like, are you pulling from a scientific journal? And if you're pulling from a journal or something along those lines, has it been peer reviewed, or is this just initial publication prior to review? So you really need to understand that. And I try to, when I look at these various different sources I try to look at a lot of different things I find online. I'll do some Google searches of my own. I'll use some of the AI tools out there, like Grok or ChatGPT, or some of those different ones, and I'll ask them to summarize some of the news, but I ask them to provide links to their sources. And so what I'll do is I'll read their summary, but then I go to the sources they provide, and I'll read the sources, and I'll see what they are. And if they link to other sources, I'll follow down the rabbit hole, because it's educational to be looking into this and really understanding, and then really trying to, okay, you have a summary, make your own determination of what it is. So that's kind of how I do it. My little rant about how to trust media and how to trust sources is basically I don't trust anyone without validating. That's basically who I am, what my background is, and kind of what I do is you have to trust the process that they work, but you have to verify. So you gotta love that mentality of trust but verify. And it's something I try to teach my kids, and it's something I deal with every day at work. It's, you trust the individual, they're trying to do the right thing. You trust the process, you trust the source, but you have to verify that this specific instance is accurate, or they've actually executed something, or they've done something, or they're saying things without a spin on them. So that's just kind of my 2 cents on that. Just kind of a little blurb, blurb is not the right word, but a little insight into how I look at things. yeah, if you have questions on some of the ones I look at, if you want to know kind of what I look for, let me know. Otherwise, I just hope that when you do look at sources, regardless of what your view is, you're being impartial. You're actually trying to explore and understand both sides, instead of just consuming and regurgitating talking points from one side or the other. I don't find there are any media sources that I would feel comfortable just regurgitating or just stating items that they come out with without verifying it myself. And even then, we should be making our own opinions and not just restating what we find from someone else. So that's kind of where it stands right now. Just my little kind of thoughts of the day as I'm driving home. So I want to thank you all again for listening to me. Thank you for joining, if you've actually watched this, for joining the my car ride conversation that I'm having here. Just my thoughts of the day here. So thanks again. I hope everyone has a good day. And if you do enjoy this, please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. And I do try to get back to anyone who comments on any of my posts. So thanks again, and enjoy.